This is episode 575, and today we're going to be talking about 10 steps to success. Now, again, just wanted to reiterate that these are not the only 10 steps to success. There are many, many, many steps to success, but these are some that may be unique and maybe would be beneficial to implement into your life. So, success is the state or condition of meeting a defined range of expectations. So all of us have our own definition of success. What I feel success for me may not be success for you. So one of the things we have to be aware of is that success is personal. It's not community wise. It's not measuring ourselves against something else. It's all personal on what we set up for our expectations. It may be viewed as the opposite of failure. So if you can't define success, maybe you know what failure looks like, and it's just the opposite. So these are some things, because when we can become clear on what success is, or what it looks like, or what it means to us, we can then start taking the steps necessary to achieve that success. The criteria for success, depend on the context and maybe relative to a particular observer or belief system. And this is so true is with the belief systems, is that we may believe that material success is not success, but spiritual enlightenment or travel and experiences and adventures is success. So again, we have to make sure that when we look at success, we define it in our own terms, and it's not right or wrong, but when you define it, it is going to be right for you. So the first thing, in order to achieve success, we have to understand it deeply and understand it through what filters that we are looking at it and what beliefs and values that we bring to that definition of success. So number one, this is one of the steps there, is don't tolerate the intolerable. You need to hold yourself and others to a high standard and not accept anything else. We accept what we tolerate. And once you stop accepting below par results, you'll have more energy for the things that matter the most. And we do. It's better this than nothing. It's better this. Well, what about it's not better this or good enough? We want to be able to set a high standard. Yes, we may set a very high standard and not achieve it, but we'll be closer to it than accepting mediocrity. And if things are intolerable, don't accept them. If you have a car that is on its last leg and you're just tolerating it, you're holding it together with duct tape and wire, and then go, this is not correct. I'm going to find a way to get the financing to get a new car, or I'm going to find a way to get a new car. It could be finance, it could be a donation, whatever else it might be. But you have to stop tolerating the intolerables, because you lower your standards, you lower your self-esteem, you lower your energy, that when you're accepting below what you know you are worth, your self-worth diminishes as well. Finish what you start. This is so huge, but by completing what you start, you can experience peace and move on with your life. And this is how many times have you started a project and then didn't finish it and moved on to something else and moved on to something else? What that does is it teaches you to be a quitter. And you can never achieve success if you quit. What is important is determining if what you're going after is worth your effort. And again, Seth Godin in his book, The Dip, talks about, before you set a goal, ask yourself, what would have to happen for me to stop? And if you come up with an answer, don't set that goal. Because the answer for a truly desirable goal or outcome is nothing's going to get in my way. And so when nothing gets in your way, you will finish what you start. But these are even little things. Just, you're going to write a note to somebody. You start halfway through and go, oh, I'll finish it later. No, you sit down, you're writing an email, you're doing something, you finish what you start, then move on to the next one. This builds momentum, this builds discipline, this builds character to finish what you start. There are so many, you can see this at the gym a lot too. People will have their workout planned or maybe not, and they get on a machine or start lifting a barbell or dumbbells, and they say, "Oh, I'm going to get 12 reps." They get to six, they don't feel like it, and they drop it and move on. You finish what you start. You have to finish what you start. Simplify. Balance or life harmony can be easily achieved if you declutter your life. That's physically, mentally, emotionally, relationship wise, spiritually. Just declutter it. I used to belong to a group called Monthly Mentor, and each month we were instructed to clean up a mess. Now, it wasn't a relationship mess, it was a physical mess that was like your closet, your desk, your garage. Because when you can clean up that mess, it makes life go smoother. So this may be, when you can declutter yourself mentally, that is, stop thinking about things you can't control and stop going through this hamster wheel of your thoughts. That's what coaches and therapists and others are for, is to help you verbalize these things, discern what is important to hold on to, clean up yourself, physically. You may be a mess physically, whether it's out of shape or you have clothes that have holes in them, and you just, because, when we're working from home now, we kind of sit in our sweatpants and t-shirts all day long, and that can be quite it can pull our energy down. So we want to balance it by decluttering ourselves physically, your living space, mentally, our mind, and spiritually. And when you can simplify and declutter your life, you'll open up space for more important and more better things. That's not good English, but more better things to come into your life. Reinforce your structures. Hopefully, you have some structures or routines or rituals or boundaries, but make sure your own needs are met and your foundations are solid. This is where boundaries are very, very important. We as a society find it very challenging to say no. When somebody comes up and asks us, "Hey, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me?" and we already have something planned, we will reschedule our own plans to help somebody else out. Now, there are points where we want to be good people and friends and stuff, but if we keep sacrificing ourselves to help others, our needs aren't met, and we can't give what we don't have. And when you can work on your structures, then you will notice also that your confidence will replace your fears, because you have in place a structure to follow. You have in place a routine to follow, a ritual. And when you have those structures in place, you then feel confident in the direction that you are going. Keep what matters close. Organize your life so that it revolves around the things that matter most to you. For me, it's physical activity. So I make sure I get to the gym. I make sure I go outside for a walk. I make sure that I eat healthy 90% of the time. So that's what matters most to me right now, is my physical health and my vitality. So I make sure my life is organized around that. Maybe you say your kids are most important in your life, but look at how much time you're spending outside of house, at work, those type of things. One of the best ways to look at this is, what do you value in life? What is important to you in life? And write down, maybe 5, 10 things. And then look on the average week and put how many hours you're spending on those things. If outdoors, if being in nature, you say, is important to you, is part of what you value in life, but you only get outside 1 hour a week, you might want to take a look at what you're doing instead. We say certain things are important to us, but then when we don't do those, we feel out of alignment, we feel stressed, And so a great way to do that is write down the top 5 things that are important to you in life, and then document how many hours a week do you do those things. And if you're not doing them in, proportion to how you value them, you might want to look at where you're spending the rest of that time and energy. Always create. Creativity just brings energy, it brings excitement, it brings novelty to life. So, don't lose your imagination. Don't lose that part. We tend to go to work, kind of be told what to do, unless you're a graphic designer and some of those things, or a poet or a writer. But generally speaking, we go to work, we're told what to do. We come home, we kind of make the same food, we sit down, watch the same shows on TV, and we lose this creativity side of ourselves. So constantly try new things, experiment with old things, and always strive to improve. And let's just say that could be cooking, and you've never tried Thai food. So you go get a cookbook, you get the things, and you start to be creative with your cooking. So you're still cooking if that's what you want, and then you can start to play with that. And let's just say there's so many other ways of trying new things. Maybe you want to take West Coast swing dancing or country line dancing, or maybe Zumba or something else, but try new things. That's being creative. Maybe you're not creating, but you're participating, but it's the same thing. It activates the same parts of the brain where you're doing something new, you're doing something novel. And this actually will help keep your brain young and healthy and functioning when you continually try to do new things, or attempt to create new things. It does wonders for your brain. Strengthen, just mental strength, physical strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength, all of it. Just like muscles, your strength need to be tested, pushed, and built upon in order to become more solid. Now I talk about the physical strength. You got to get out there, move faster, move stronger, and move with agility. So that means just get out there, get a movement practice that challenges you. Mental strength. Do things that are outside your comfort zone and step out of it and become more mentally strong by that. Emotional strength. Watch yourself when you're in traffic. Watch yourself when you're in a conversation. Watch yourself where normally the emotions would rise up and derail you. Then bring it back and become emotionally strong, spiritually strong. Hold on to your values. Hold on to what's important to you. Create a code of honor. Find your purpose and start working on those things. This is a great way to strengthen, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Reserve. So we want to have some reserves for us. Willpower is one of those. Willpower diminishes as the day goes on, but the more we can push our willpower, and the more we can push our mental strength, the more we have a bigger reserve to go on. So learn how to stockpile in every aspect of your life. And that's, again, mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. The more prepared you are, the more leverage you have, and the more opportunities will come your way. And here's the interesting thing about building a reserve. You have to exhaust it completely for it to build bigger the next time. If you only take half of your reserve and use it, let's just say for willpower, you only use half your willpower every day, it's not going to get any bigger. But if you exhaust your willpower today, you'll have more available tomorrow. You exhaust yourself physically at the gym by lifting weights to failure, you're going to have more strength after your muscles repair. So we want to learn how to stockpile that reserve by pushing ourselves on every aspect of our life. Incorporate. So be aware of how the different aspects of your life fit together. They do. You have this wheel of life that coaches use, and you have your relationship, you have your personal growth, you have your spiritual, you have your financial, you have your career, you have your love life. And you want to take a look and see how all those things come together and strive to maintain a connection to all those areas of our life. If you look at it, a wheel, is your wheel flat? Is it lopsided? Where can it use some attention? And again, you can just go Wheel of Life on Google and look at it and start to do a self-assessment. If you work with me or other coaches, they will help you with that as well. But if you don't know where you stand with your wheel in life, you won't have the feedback as to how to incorporate all aspects of your life together. And when you have all those aspects together, you'll then be able to step forward towards your success. Perfect. So make sure to constantly work at all of your unique elements, right? Through attentive care, you can polish your life into a work of art. And we want to shoot for perfection, but achieve excellence. So you want to constantly work on these elements. You want to strive to do better. You want to strive to improve. You want to keep striving for bigger and better things. And that will help us, one, develop this abundance of reserve, but it'll also help us step closer to what success looks like. So just keep in mind that success can be defined in many ways. If you're experiencing happiness, love, or adventure in this moment, you probably have already found success, because really success is all about feelings. It's about our emotions. So if you've done that, just keep it up. If you'd like to see the show notes from this podcast, you can visit warriormindcoach.com, see the show notes there. And while you're there, you can find other blog posts, other podcasts there, and some other information on how to get in touch with me. And since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.